Welcome to Conflict Zone, where the geopolitical chessboard of the Middle East witnesses a strategic power play. The U.S. has initiated a major offensive against the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen, showcasing a bold and strategic maneuver. In a joint effort, the U.S. and UK militaries have escalated their offensive against the Houthi rebels, launching a series of airstrikes targeting missile facilities, airfields, arsenals, underground bunkers, and commanders. This operation, part of Operation Poseidon Archer, goes beyond the strikes on January 11th, aiming to decisively disrupt the Houthi rebels' capacity to launch attacks on both commercial and military vessels in the strategic Red Sea corridor. The significance of this escalation is underscored by the high stakes involved in securing the region's security and freedom of navigation, particularly in one of the world's most critical maritime trade routes. The intricate web of alliances and proxy relationships in the region adds complexity to the situation, with Iran's support for the Houthis further heightening tensions between Tehran and Washington. With global attention focused on the Red Sea, the outcome of this high-stakes conflict has the potential to reshape the geopolitical dynamics of the Middle East and impact global economic stability. Now, let's delve into the details of the latest US and UK attacks, shedding light on the quest for stability in the region with our exclusive analysis. The US and the UK have launched new airstrikes against the Houthis in Yemen. The United States executed a strike targeting a Houthi missile facility in Yemen at approximately 4:15 a.m. SAA time, destroying four Houthi anti-ship ballistic missile launchers preparing for launch in Houthi-controlled areas. According to U.S. Central Command, the strike was a response to an imminent threat posed by the missiles to commercial vessels and U.S. Navy ships. In response to the U.S. military action, Houthi military spokesman Yahya Sarriah claimed that 18 new airstrikes were conducted by U.S. and British forces on Yemeni territory. Sarriah specified that 12 airstrikes hit the Yemeni capital Sana'a, 3 targeted Hodeidah Governorate, 2 struck Taiz Governorate, and 1 affected Al-Baida Governorate. These developments mark a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict, emphasizing the complexities and high stakes involved in the pursuit of stability in the region. The U.S. has initiated Operation Poseidon Archer, a long-term military campaign against the Houthi rebels in Yemen. The primary objective is to significantly weaken the Houthi offensive capabilities. Ongoing U.S. and UK strikes are proving to be more forceful than the initial air and naval strikes, indicating a heightened intensity in the campaign. The overnight strikes suggest a commitment to escalating actions against Houthi targets in Yemen. The recent joint US-UK operation was deemed successful, with notable destruction of the Houthis' ballistic anti-ship silos. Over 14 ballistic missile launchers were eradicated in the strikes, terminating almost 40% of the Houthi combat capabilities. The Houthi rebels are facing challenges in obtaining arms and ammunition from Iran, as the U.S. and coalition navies actively block potential Iranian transfer routes to Yemen. Fighter jets from the aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower participated in the strikes. Earlier, Vice President Joe Biden met with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to discuss various issues, including the safety of the Red Sea. For Royal Air Force Typhoon FGR-4S, accompanied by 2 Voyager tankers, collaborated with the U.S. in the assault on Houthi-controlled territory. Precision-guided bombs were used to destroy numerous targets at military installations near Sana'a Airport. The strikes aimed at 2 military facilities near Sana'a Air Base, which was reportedly used for launching attacks on ships in the Red Sea. UK Defence Secretary Grant Shapps emphasised that the strikes, conducted in self-defense, were intended to degrade Houthi capabilities and further diminish their stockpiles, reducing their ability to threaten global trade. No injuries have been reported thus far, and the UK Ministry of Defence emphasised the meticulous planning of the strikes to minimise the possibility of civilian casualties. Lord Cameron, the UK Foreign Secretary, conveyed a clear message to the Houthis that the UK would persist in degrading their ability to launch attacks. When questioned about the potential escalation of the situation in the Middle East, He asserted the UK's commitment to thwarting Houthi aggression. Stay tuned for further updates on this evolving situation. Lord Cameron responded to the escalating situation in Yemen, asserting that the conflict has been aggravated by the Houthis. Confident in the success of prior operations, he dismissed the Houthi narrative linking the strikes to the Israel-Hamas conflict. Lord Cameron expressed the UK's desire for a quick resolution and urged an urgent humanitarian pause, advocating for a sustainable ceasefire. In the aftermath of joint US-UK strikes, Muhammad Ali al-Houthi, leader of the Houthis, issued a statement expressing confidence that any attacks on their country would not go unanswered. He questioned the strategic objectives of increased US airstrikes against Houthi rebels, raising concerns about the fragile balance of power in the Middle East, particularly Iran's influence. Given the complex nature of the conflict and the involvement of foreign actors, including the UK, there are potential repercussions for global trade. The Red Sea, a critical shipping route, adds to the stakes. An escalation with Iran could have far-reaching consequences for the US economy, politics, and security. Any military engagement with Iran might lead to disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, impacting 30% of global oil transport and potentially causing a surge in global oil prices. The situation in the region has intensified since the Hamas incursion and Israel's intervention in Gaza. Iranian-backed militias have increased attacks, while the Houthis continue missile launches and ship targeting in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. Hezbollah and Israel Defense Forces engage in hostilities in Lebanon, creating a complex web of conflicts. Before delving into the intricacies of these organizations and their ties to Iran, it is crucial to understand Iran's overarching goals. Since the Islamic Revolution in 1979, Iran has employed proxy militias as part of its strategy, influencing regional dynamics. Over the past 4 decades, there have been relatively few regimes with an overt and unified grand strategy. Iran's strategy, however, is an exception and revolves around 3 key pillars. Firstly, Iran is determined to remove the United States from the Middle East. Secondly, they aim to replace Israel with Palestine. Thirdly, Iran seeks to contribute to the downfall of the world order dominated by the United States. This strategic approach is shared by Iran and its regional proxies. The use of proxy militias provides Iran with a degree of deniability. Although quick to claim responsibility for the attack on the U.S. consulate in northern Iraq, Iran's adept assessment of the U.S. determination suggests they are not afraid of confrontation. They understand that the current U.S. government, led by Vice President Joe Biden, is committed to de-escalation, boosting Iran's confidence. Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen receive varying degrees of assistance from Iran. Hezbollah is considered the crown jewel of the Iranian Revolution, being Tehran's most powerful proxy. As part of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, it operates as a wholly owned subsidiary of the Iranian government. The Houthis, emerging as a result of Hezbollah's influence, have significantly improved their relations with Iran in the last decade. While Iran does not micromanage its proxies daily, it effectively organizes them on a larger scale. Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Shia militias in Iraq share the same strategic goals, removing the U.S. from the Middle East and replacing Israel with Palestine. The fact that these organizations act in concert illustrates Iran's influence and strategic alignment in the region. Thank you for watching.